This is Petey, 74 weight from SupplementReviews.com. How is it going? Today we're going to combine a mailbag question with a product review because they kind of coincide with each other. So I guess we're killing two birds with one stone. Ain't that nifty? The mailbag question was, Petey, what do you think about alternative proteins such as brown rice, pea protein, soy protein isolate, or hemp protein? Well, today we're going to cover pea protein and brown rice protein as, I guess, a sample question for this. I don't have any hemp protein, or I guess I refuse to buy soy protein, but nonetheless we got two to take care of. Starting strictly with the mailbag question there, when you're comparing the various proteins such as pea protein or in this case brown rice protein as well to standard stuff such as whey protein, which is animal-based, there will be some differences between a plant-based protein and animal-based protein. I'm not going to get, I guess, super in-depth here, but the main things to consider with this is whether you're getting complete protein or not, and also the biological value. When you're getting whey protein concentrate or isolate, regardless of which one, you're going to have a biological value of over 100. What that means is just how easy it is for your body to break down and assimilate the protein that you're taking in, putting it to good use. Yes, it is possible to have a rating over 100 when it comes to whey, and I believe egg whites are about 100 on the value of our biological value as well, so those rank pretty high, as well as casein. Strictly talking about brown rice, out of the top of my head, I looked it up a little bit ago just to double check, make sure it's accurate. The biological value of brown rice protein is 83, and the biological value of pea protein is about 65. So it's not going to be quite as high as an animal-based protein. And one of the reasons that you also have to keep in mind is that when you have brown rice protein or pea protein by themselves, not combined or with anything else, you are getting an incomplete protein source, which means you're not getting all of the essential amino acids that you need to get from a protein. So that's why in the dietetics world, you call this a complementary protein. You combine two incomplete proteins to make a complete protein, which is a strategy that a lot of people following a vegetarian or vegan-based diet have to follow if they're not consuming animal-based products, and a lot of them are plant-based, so in order to get all their amino acids. So one example of a complementary protein would be combining brown rice and pea protein. And little do you, I guess wonder, that's exactly what they did with AI Sports Nutrition No Whey. So with that in mind, before we get into the video review, that's my answer for that, is that if you need an alternate protein to animal-based, you'll be fine. You're not going to have any, I guess, lost benefit in terms of how much protein you're going to get or how well you're able to digest protein, because whole food protein is always should always be the first choice. With that being said, we're moving into the video review itself. Like I said, the product reviewed today is, of course, AI Sports Nutrition No Whey. I happen to have the pumpkin pie flavor here, and that was sent over to me at my request by Nate at AI Sports, which is good dude over there to know. So, breaking into it here, I guess we'll start with the ingredient profile, because I guess this is pretty much the make or break section of this product. In this case, it does combine brown rice protein and pea protein. Like I said, you have those two incomplete proteins come together to make a complete protein source. I like the concept of it, I like the whole food concept of it, and I like the idea that they're kind of going out and around to make something that's going to be unique and different from just having yet another animal-based protein source. It'd be a good choice for people, like I said, that can't have an animal-based protein for whatever reason, so it's one they could look into for that reason. The other concern a lot of people are going to have is how fast the digestion rate is. For both pea and brown rice protein, they digest about 3.5 grams per hour in terms of how long it can take your body for it to fully assimilate all of your protein source. So say you got 15 grams of that combined protein source, about 3.5 grams. It's going to take you, under 5 hours to digest, versus your animal-based whey protein that can digest at about 8 to 10 grams per hour. So you are going to lose, I guess, a little bit of the rate of digestion, how fast your body's able to assimilate it. But it all depends in perspective on when you're using it, what your beliefs are in terms of the anabolic window, and how fast you want your nutrients to reach your muscle. But that's something else that's not really, I guess, a matter of this discussion. So that aside, it's going to be slower digesting than an animal-based protein, but nonetheless, it is a complete protein source. Looking at the rest of the ingredient profile, it is fortified with vitamin D and a few other micronutrients. One thing that I would like to see here that isn't listed is the amino acid breakdown on the side of the container, so I'm going to have to knock it down just a little bit there. Other than that, I mean, it is what it is. If you're looking for a plant-based protein, it's high quality, and each serving, I believe you're getting 30 grams. Yep, that's correct, 30 grams. So it's not going to be lacking in those areas, but once again, you got to use it for the intended purpose. So overall, for the ingredient profile, I gave it an 8 out of 10. I like the idea behind it, and I guess my only nitpick is that once again, I'd like to see a thorough breakdown of the amino acids, and as well as maybe a few other included goodies, depending on what they want to throw in. You know, maybe throw in some glutamine or some additional BCAAs just to help out with the fact that you're getting a slow digesting protein, or if you tend to have an incomplete protein source that has to combine to make a complete protein source. So once again, an 8 out of 10 for ingredient profile. Otherwise, solid across the board there. Taste and mixability. This one's going to be very subjective. If you're used to a nice smooth protein shake, this might be a little bit of a shock to you if you mix it in water. It's kind of hard to describe. If you've ever had casein before, the first few times you've had it, it has a kind of grainy texture to it compared to a whey. It's going to be similar to that. It's not going to be as smooth. It's going to be a little bit grainy, and it's going to be kind of, I guess, how to describe it, maybe a little bit slimy when you drink it. I honestly prefer this one to pumpkin pie flavor when I've mixed it up. I like it with almond milk. It makes it a lot more smooth, and it actually complements the pumpkin pie flavor. Oh my gosh, I keep saying pie instead of pie. The pumpkin pie flavor very well, and I think it has obviously a much better taste, because pretty much anything will taste better in milk, or in this case almond milk. So I have no complaints with the taste. Some have commented that the nutmeg flavor is a little bit too much in the balance of how they made it, but I don't think it's too big of an issue. I happen to love nutmeg, and I think it pulls off a nice alternative to what you're used to with, you know, chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, and so forth. So that's kind of a neat concept. I like the idea and how they ran with it, and I think it works really well with the texture of brown rice and pea protein. You know, pie's kind of grainy, so hey, why not just kind of play on that card? Mixability, I didn't really have any issues with it. It's going to stay a little grainy and a little slimy just due to the nature of the protein. I didn't have any issues with it clumping or getting stuck in the side of the shaker cup or in the lid, so it mixes perfectly fine for what it is. Once again, you might want to add a little bit more water if you don't like the thickness or the sliminess, or in this case, add a little extra milk or almond milk if you're mixing with those two, because it is going to be a very thick shake. So overall, I was happy with that. I've given that an 8 out of 10 as well. Just because it's kind of like an inconsistent product in terms of just how slimy it is. I mean, you have to nail the amount of liquid just right to have a consistently, I guess, thick shake, which isn't a huge deal, but at the same time, it's not perfect. It's something they could always, you know, continue to tweak in the manufacturing process, but not too much, because you don't want to denature protein as well. So once again, 8 out of 10. Effectiveness, I gave it an 8 out of 10 here as well. It's pretty much 8s across the board. It does what it's supposed to do. I think it's honestly meant to be more of a slower digesting meal replacement food-based protein rather than a fast digesting whey protein from an animal-based one. I feel it suits this much better. If you want to take a post-workout, once again, you're fine. You know, there's not a big secret that when you provide your body with macronutrients, protein, carbohydrates, and fats, you're going to recover. You know, I don't know why people want to take this concept to a whole nother level. I mean, it's simple science, all right? You've got to rebuild by giving your body supplies. With that being said, it's going to be slow digesting, but you're still providing your body with building blocks, amino acids, and a complete protein source by combining brown rice and pea protein. So it's nothing special in terms of, I guess, how miraculous your recovery is going to be, but at the same time, it is going to get the job done. So once again, I'm giving an 8 out of 10 for effectiveness. For the value, I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. It's priced really well for what it is. It's something unique. I mean, if they really wanted to play their card here of saying it's a very unique product, no other company is going to have one like it, they could have, but instead they price it on par with a lot of other proteins. So if you're wanting to try it, you're not going to be hard-pressed to actually make yourself spend the money for it. You're going to be getting exactly what you want to pay for, and at a good price range. So overall, I'm going to give the value a 9 out of 10 once again. Moving on to overall, I gave it a solid 8 out of 10. I feel that it was a well thought out product, it's unique, and it's a good alternative to trying out an animal-based protein product. So you won't be disappointed, but then again, you got to keep in perspective exactly what it's supposed to be. I feel it was better off, I guess, in the mindset, if you're looking for a whole food replacement protein rather than something specifically for post-workout, if that's your strict mindset for it. So don't be disappointed if you, after reading this or listening to the video, that it's going to be slow digesting. Alright, so once again, an 8 out of 10 for the overall value. And, I encourage you to give it a try, expand your, horizons, and try a different type of product, and see what you think. You'll have your own thoughts on it, so go from there. Make sure to like us on Facebook if you want to win some free gear, or some free product. It's always an exciting time, I know. Follow us on Twitter to stay up to date on all your SR news, and if you have suggestions, feedback, or any videos you want to see, make sure to post them in the SR social media section of our forum. Alright, this has been Petey 74 Whey from SupplementReviews.com. You have a good day, everybody.